Whopper to Cayman, the Impossible Whopper, just like the regular Whopper, but made from plants. Brand new on island and only at Burger King, 7 Mile Beach, Waterfront, Walkers Road, and Red Bay.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Cayman Pharmacy Group, with a location in West Bay and professional pharmacy at CTMH Doctors Hospital. The Cayman Pharmacy Group has a location for you just around the corner. Seaboard Marine, with over 35 shipping ports, find your shipping solution by calling 949-4977 or visit seaboardmarine.com for competitive rates. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. And Fidelity Bank. Fidelity, we're good for you.
Also brought to you by Ropers Enterprises, 122 Industrial Way. Products and services for better public health. Green Turtle. Take a ride on the Green Turtle Express today. Download the Green Turtle app, the future of mobile, saving lives today. And the Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure. Visit energy.gov.ky/competition to win a home energy makeover worth up to $20,000.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Coming to you live from Radio Cayman Studio.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
For the record.
For the record. For the record.
Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is your talk show.
1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Ort Connor.
Good morning and welcome to For the Record. Today is Wednesday, the 11th day of November 2020. This is the first day that For the Record is back on the air since last week, Friday. I hope and I trust that everyone is doing well. That we know that we all survived the tropical depression that was in our area, experienced some winds, rough seas. Some people would have lost trees, either fruit trees or decorative trees in their yards as well, and some people may still be busy at work trying to make repairs or to tidy up their yards. Lots more work to be done on the roads as well, and we'll talk about that a little bit later as well. If you're on the roads of the Cayman Islands this morning, whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, operating any type of motorized vehicle, we urge you to please be extremely cautious on the roads. Ensure that you observe the rules of the road. Remember, the life you save may be your own. Some areas where road construction is still going on. The southbound lane on the over the Ritz-Carlton Bridge, work is still being done on there as well. Motor vehicles, you want to take your time going over there if you're on a motorcycle, even more so, and if you're on a bicycle. In some areas there, in some parts of that bridge, you may just simply want to get off the bike and walk over it if you're unable to ride on the shoulders as well. So that work is continuing. No doubt the inclement weather has hampered the National Roads Authority from completing the work. We know that the northbound lane over the Ritz-Carlton Bridge has already been completed. The southbound still needs to be worked on. But like I said, the inclement weather would have probably had something to do with that as well. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday. Or if you celebrated one over the past few days when we weren't on the air, a belated happy birthday to you as well. Those of you who have lost loved ones, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you, and we hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these very challenging times. In particular, we would like to extend condolences to the family of the late Chuck Elvis Ebanks, who was a victim of a traffic accident in West Bay. The Royal Cayman Islands Police Service yesterday released the name of the victim, and we want to extend our sincere condolences to him. Also, we want to extend condolences to Mr. Gene Thompson, Mr. Kel Thompson, and the rest of the family on the passing of Miss Mary Thompson as well. Miss Mary, well known throughout the islands, very gentle lady, extremely polite, loving. I remember her in the days when I attended the Seventh-day Adventist Church, right now where the Butterfield Bank is located, the new Butterfield location, not the one in front of the post office, but the one near to the going towards Mary Street. When the Seventh-day Adventist Church was there, she was one of my Sabbath school teachers, Miss Mary. So again, we want to send our sincere condolences to the family and to all of those families who have lost loved ones. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these very challenging times, and that the memories that you have, the good memories of your family members, will also be the foundation for your strength. So folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I am your host, Orit Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open. This morning, again, it is the radio voice of DJ Lynn waiting to take your calls. You can call us on our toll-free number provided courtesy of Flow. That toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037 and the 949-6990. If you don't like to talk on the telephone, email us at fortherecord, one word, fortherecord at candw.ky. WhatsApp us, 925-3261, where you can send us a text message or leave us a voice note, the contents of which will be played during the course of the show. And of course, you can follow us on YouTube simply by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream. Our latest testing update for COVID-19, that was on the 10th of December yesterday, and the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. John Lee, reported that 263 COVID-19 tests had been carried out since this was last reported on Friday, the 6th of November. 3 of those 263 tests were positive. The Chief Medical Officer indicates that the individuals are asymptomatic travelers who returned a positive test result following routine screening. They will remain in isolation until they have been considered to have recovered. the total number of persons in isolation, either at a government facility or in their homes as required by the Chief Medical Officer of Health, is now 823. Those are the numbers of persons who are in isolation, either in a government facility or at home. And that number is simply the way it is because people are traveling. They, for whatever reasons, we hope and we trust and we believe that those the travel is it's considered to be necessary as opposed to be discretionary as well. Let's look at the COVID-19 dashboard. So the total number of confirmed cases on the 11th was 3. The overall number of confirmed cases, 253. Still only one death associated with the cruise ship. We have 236 individuals who have recovered. 48,577 COVID-19 tests have been performed in the Cayman Islands as well. And worldwide, it is now up to the number of confirmed cases is up to 51.2 million cases. So that is it for the COVID-19 testing. Not sure whether or not I have enough time to share with you this. No, this one is going to be too long to share, so we'll take the commercial break. When we return, if the opportunity arises, I will share with you what the Postal Service in the Cayman Islands has put out in terms of an update on parcels from the U.S., the United States of America, and the United Kingdom. So, folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after this short commercial break.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
On August 19, 1948, 24 Georgetown women sent a historic letter to the commissioner, which stated,
"Sir, we, the undersigned residents of the District of Georgetown, having examined and obtained legal advice on the Constitution of the Cayman Islands, find nothing therein which denies a woman the fundamental human right of taking part in deciding who shall govern us. Therefore, we declare that it is our intention to exercise our constitutional right to vote today, August 19, 1948, according to our conscience, in the election of vestrymen for the District of Georgetown. Should this privilege be denied to us by the officials in charge of the election, we shall demand the government to give just reasons for making of no effect the laws it has sworn to uphold. We have the honor to be, sir."
Although no women voted in the 1948 election, on May 29, 1957, 358 women from 7 districts signed similar requests. And on December 8, 1958, the Sex Disqualification Removal Bill passed into law.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Green Turtle. Modern solutions to get you through the new normal. Download the Green Turtle app now and top up yours or a loved one's phone with any mobile carrier in any destination. Home delivery of laptops, tablets, phones, accessories, and iTunes and major online retailer gift cards. And now, home deliveries of groceries and courier service. Guaranteed delivery within 2 hours from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Visit their list of products at greenturtle.ky or download the Green Turtle app today. Green Turtle is not only the future of mobile, but today it can help save a life. Take a ride on the Green Turtle Express today. Download the Green Turtle app, the future of mobile, saving lives today.
Rotary Central Music Extravaganza tickets are moving like a hold glass of swanky on a hot Kimmenbrack day. Get your tickets now from Rotary Central members, Rotary ticket sellers, eventpro.ky, Funky Tanks, A.L. Thompson's Home Depot, Mango Tree Restaurant, Seabirds Bar, Eastern Avenue, Tashara Lewis in Kimmenbrack. Get your golden tickets. Get ready to be a winner. Stand your chance to win $40,000. Second prize $4,000. 6 $1,000 prizes and more. The Music Extravaganza 2020. Building bus shelters throughout the Cayman Islands, supporting over 70 Rotary community projects. Rotary Central, not-for-profit number 232. Rotary opens opportunity.
Stronger, wider, higher, lighter. The all-new Ford Ranger Raptor. Powerfully built with a 2.0 diesel Panther engine and 210 horsepower. Modern with leather interior and 8-inch touchscreen, Sync 3 technology and power features. Tough, built to handle the off-road with 4-wheel drive, terrain modes, and a 10-speed automatic transmission. Coming early October to Vamped Motors, Walkers Road. To find out more and to test drive the bold new Ford Ranger Raptor, visit Vamped Motors, Walkers Road, or call 949-8288.
Did you know the third most important factor for customer retention is cleanliness? With 95% of shoppers saying exterior appliance influences where they decide to shop. Keep your business clean with Roper's Janitorial. From offices to restaurants, interior and exterior, walls to rugs and flooring. Roper's cleans it all, including 24-hour emergency service. Roper's Janitorial, 949-2511, or email janitorial@ropers.ky. Dress your business for success with Roper's Janitorial. We make your business shine. 949-2511. Roper's, providing products and services for better public health.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
You are listening to Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands. System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. It is my pleasure now to have in the studio with me none other than MLA, Mr. Kenneth Bryan, and as you know, he represents the constituency of Georgetown Central in our legislative assemblies after today. Hopefully, soon to be called to Parliament. 11th of November, I think that's the date that they said that the Privy Council would be meeting,
yes.
To approve it. So, Mr. Bryan, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Connor, and good morning to your listening audience here on the radio and via YouTube. It's a pleasure to be here. I think the last time was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago when we were in the Legislative Assembly, soon to be a Parliament, when we were discussing what was going on in the House. I intend to only be on the show this morning, unfortunately, until 9 o'clock, as I'm doing a little initiative out in the constituency of Georgetown Central. As you know, we just had the storm Eta past us, and thankfully we only got a little bit of breeze, but that breeze caused breeze and flooding. But that breeze has caused a lot of trees to be blown down or uprooted.
Yes.
And I started an initiative over the weekend where I saw the need for many families that had trees down in their yard and didn't have access to the necessary things to remove them. So I reached out to the Department of Environmental Health, and they've confirmed that they will be doing a garbage collection or vegetation collection, but they don't do the work in people's yards directly. So I thought I would do one leg of the work that's necessary to remove these trees, which is to cut them up from where they've fallen in the yards and then park them up closest to the road where we know the Department of Environmental Health has grab trucks.
Right.
So what I've done is hired 10, actually it's actually 12 persons. I only had planned for 10 because I had to pay it out of my pocket. What I'm doing is hiring these persons who were unemployed, paying them $10 an hour for the last 2 days, because when the storm hit right afterwards, I kind of went out there myself with my chainsaw and my machete and my ladder and stuff, and I realized doing this by myself, I may be here for a while, particularly with so many trees down. So I got a list of persons together yesterday morning, and we hit up a lot of places, to be honest. You're really quick. You'd be surprised how quickly a chainsaw can move. And once you have helping hands to move the debris, we were able to cut down a number of trees that were falling, cut them up, pile them up right close to the road so the grab truck can go. So we're back at that again this morning at 9 o'clock. So the guys are meeting me at my office because we have, I think, 7 locations to do today. And I try to get that done before I pick up my kids at school. So that's the plan for today, and that's why I had to leave at 9, trying to take advantage as much time. Ideally, we should have been starting like the old school way, 6 o'clock in the morning when the sun up. That's what.
At 6 it's still a little bit dark.
Yeah, that's true, that's true. But once the sun up is when you're supposed to start. But unfortunately, you have other things to deal with as well.
Now, this morning, DJ Lynn and I were talking, about the same thing, and we were discussing the fact that, yes, government has the NICE program, and there's certain time in the year when they do employ individuals. But the question is, do they retain a standing list of those participants in the NICE program? Now, they may be employed, and if they are, all the better for them. But if they're unemployed, here's a good situation where they could be used. You probably couldn't use all of those that are employed during the NICE program, but you could rotate, give one person 2 days or 1 day here, and you have that standing list to employ persons, especially if the NRA are overwhelmed at this point in time with the work that they have doing now. This morning we were out riding, and there's still areas on Estella Tibbetts, the bypass going towards Badabano, where you have trees that are listed, and the branches are in the cycling lane or the walking lane as well. And there's some areas where you're driving, and they're still out there as well. Lots of work still out there to be done, even on the public roadways to a certain extent.
And OC, I would agree with you. I think that is a common sense approach that could have been taken. And I hate to say this, but I brought this up in the last sitting in the House at the first week of it in some of my parliamentary questions. First, obviously, when is the NICE program going to start? And this is before we knew ETA was coming. And I said that, one of the things I did in my surveying, because you remember Zeta had just passed us, the hurricane, and during my surveying with the concerns with Zeta's hurricane, I was looking and I said, one of the things I was concerned about was the many trees close to people's homes and the potential damage they would cause. And I said, can we get this program going ASAP? Because I believe that that's going to cause a problem. So I predicted this 3.5 weeks ago. But the answer I was given was that, yes, they're going to try to get the NICE program up as soon as possible. They didn't give an exact date. I still don't know when the exact date is because they haven't announced it. and that, you know, that may not be something they want to do because of liability issues. I guess cutting down trees or using a chainsaw is puts the insurance policies of government at a high risk. I don't know, but I mean, if we can't hire, I mean, I'm working with a group of men now, and a chainsaw is like a thing that you're supposed to be able to handle as a man, so to speak. I don't want to be sexist or anything like that, but I don't see why that answer was given as to say they can't do it. I think it was in response to the power lines and being risky around that, and I get that part. But I'm talking about just simple trees that were around homes, because though we may not, Cayman's building codes are pretty strong, and our homes usually hold up well. But if you get a tree that's fallen in the home, the damage that would cause and the overall cost to government if that Caymanian came to us to say we need help, I lost my home or my roof is damaged, it's a lot cheaper to just say, listen, let's be proactive and try to cut down some of these trees for persons who are vulnerable, who can't deal with it. If you have a lady who's 80 years old and has trees around her yard, better off to get them cut before we have to end up paying for a house that was damaged afterwards.
Okay, we do have a caller, but we're only going to have about a minute and a half before we go to our 8 o'clock news, but let's see how quickly we can accommodate that caller. Caller, good morning, welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC.
Good morning, sir.
This is Gilbert McLean. I don't know if you want to take your usual news and I could come back then.
That would be great, yes. This way it will certainly give you more time. We don't want to have to cut you off too short.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, we should be back on at about 8:15.
No problem.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. McLean. Folks, please stay tuned. For the Record, we'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Want to win big just in time for Christmas? Priced Right is giving away 6 $250 Priced Right gift cards in their Black Friday giveaway.
To enter, just spend $100 or more from now until November 25th and submit your entry online with your receipt.
If you win, you could spend it on Christmas presents, upgrading your TV, groceries, or spend it all on yourself.
For more info, go to pricedright.ky.
Get in store now for the Black Friday giveaway at Priced Right. Live better for less.
Terms and conditions apply. Promotion only valid at Priced Right at the Airport Center.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. news is proudly sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. For further information, please visit chamberpension.ky. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you. Did you know that between May and August 31st, in support of the COVID-19 Emergency Withdrawal Program, the Chamber Pension Plan leveraged IT and human resources to successfully review over 16,000 member applications, approve over 12,000 applications, and paid over CI $130 million to our plan members. We are the Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan, and we're here for you. For further information regarding the Emergency Withdrawal Program, visit chamberpension.ky. And for information as it happens, follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. Email admin@pensions.ky or call 745-7630.
Your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, I'm Shanda Gallego with your latest news. A 23-year-old Georgetown man faces 8 offenses related to several incidents between the 24th of October and the 4th of November. Police say the incidents included threatening a property owner, unlawful entry, brandishing a machete, and assault. He has been formally charged with criminal trespass, 3 counts of causing fear or provocation of violence, assault causing actual bodily harm, possession of a restricted weapon, driving without insurance, and driving while disqualified. He appeared in court on Tuesday and has been remanded into custody. Hazard Management Cayman Islands Acting Director Simon Boxall says the preliminary assessments overall show relatively little damage to the islands due to Tropical Storm Eta.
We're very fortunate that it actually moved quite quickly. It was moving at 17 miles an hour
so it cleared out fairly swiftly. It did actually drop a lot of rain though, and because the ground was so moist, we did see quite a number of trees also falling. Some people had the trees fall on top of their cars, unfortunately. There were some reports of some flooding in homes in low-lying areas, but generally, the damage assessment indicated that there was very little damage generally in the Cayman Islands, so we were fortunate about that.
Mr. Boxall says one lesson learned, the importance of trimming back trees. $32.2 million is the entire public sector surplus for the first 9 months of 2020. That according to government's newly released unaudited financial results. Here's Radio Command's April Cummings with more.
Core government shows a surplus of $30.4 million, with bank account balances of cash and deposits standing at $498.8 million. This is less than anticipated in the 2020 budget due to the fallout from the COVID-19 pandemic. Meanwhile, the total expenses of core government have risen by $56.3 million, in part due to the significant costs associated with COVID-19 suppression measures. These costs are expected to increase over the remainder of the year.
That's Radio Command's April Cummings reporting there. In other local news, provisional results for the latest round of examinations for government schools show improvement.
This cohort's 2019 performance in English was 75.3%, which is slightly higher than the student performance statistics in England, which was at 61.8% in 2019.
Acting Director of the Department of Education Services, Tammy Banks DaCosta, says the results are something to celebrate.
We have 3 students from the Clifton Hunter High School who achieved top 10 merit status regionally in the CSEC May-June 2019 examination series.
Diamond Chambers ranked 9th in the region in Human and Social Biology, tying with Joshua Pert for the 7th place rank in Integrated Science. Aaliyah Powell, who was an early entry in Year 10, ranked 9th in Electronic Document Preparation. That is your latest local news. We now turn to the BBC with a check of international news. That's it for me. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, I'm Shanda Gallego.
BBC News for Jerry Smith. Pro-democracy lawmakers in Hong Kong are resigning from the Legislative Council after 4 of their colleagues were expelled. It follows a resolution by China requiring all Hong Kong legislators to be patriots. One opposition member said the dismissals by the Hong Kong authorities signalled the death knell of democracy in the territory. France says a number of people have been wounded in an explosion at a Remembrance Day ceremony in Saudi Arabia. The event, attended by foreign diplomats, was taking place at a cemetery for non-Muslims in the city of Jeddah. Dozens of people have been arrested in Armenia at a protest against a peace deal with Azerbaijan. They're calling for the resignation of the Prime Minister, Nikol Pashinyan, over the terms of the deal, which sees large parts of Nagorno-Karabakh and surrounding areas revert to Azerbaijani control. One of the Kosovo Liberation Army's founding members has pleaded not guilty to war crimes and crimes against humanity at a special court in The Hague. Prosecutors say Recep Selimi and 3 other former senior members of the KLA were responsible for the murder, torture and disappearance of civilians during the fight for independence from Serbia in the late 1990s. In Mozambique, about a group of radio journalists who've been hiding in woodland for 10 days after fleeing Islamist insurgents. The jihadists are still in the area, and the journalists are reported to be running out of food and water. More than 50 people were beheaded in the area this week. Funeral ceremonies have been held for the Palestinian negotiator and politician Saeb Erekat, who died on Tuesday after contracting COVID-19. The Palestinian president, Mahmoud Abbas, hosted an official memorial in Ramallah before Mr. Erekat's body was taken to Jericho for burial. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is proudly sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. For further information, please visit chamberpension.ky. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you. We are a not-for-profit, member-centric plan with a democratically elected volunteer board of trustees representing all sectors of the Cayman Islands economy. We have an all-in expense ratio of less than 1%, over 20,000 members, and $490 million in assets under management. We were the first multi-employer pension plan approved by the regulator in the late 1990s, and today we are still strong, secure, and are here for our employees and employers alike. If you would like to join or require further information, visit chamberpension.ky. And for information as it happens, follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. Email admin@pensions.ky or call 745-7630. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information.
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Introducing the new Digicel Prime bundles, better than anything we've offered before, with more data than ever, more music on the music, more live sports on Sportsmax, more movies on Playgo, more video chats on BIP. With the new Digicel Prime bundles, it's never been easier to get more digital experiences, plus extra data. Get 50 gigabytes with a 7-day bundle. So much data, so much fun. Buy in My Digicel app today, the Caribbean's fastest mobile network. Digicel, better together.
For additional weather information, visit www.weather.gov.ky. As well, stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Maintaining a strong mind and body through sports and general healthy living is a good course of action. But what about your spiritual man, your inner man? He has to be awakened, fed, exercised, strengthened, and led according to the will of God. So, have you heard the call? I'm Evangelist Brother Joseph Joey Ebanks, and I'm inviting you to worship Wednesday and Thursday nights at 7:30. We are bringing the Word of God to our communities as Jesus commanded. Faith comes by hearing, so come and hear. Bring your own chair or simply park and listen to the Word of God from your vehicle, covering the Cayman Islands with the Word of God, one community at a time.
Have You Heard the Call will be meeting November 11th and 12th at the Windsor Park Playground.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
Change your thinking. Change your life. Developing the giver's mindset can bolster any relationship.
As motivational speaker Tony Robbins said, some of the biggest challenges in relationships come from the fact that most people enter a relationship in order to get something. They're trying to find someone who's going to make them feel good. In reality, the only way a relationship will last is if you see a relationship as a place that you go to give and not only a place that you go to take.
Change your thinking. Change your life.
Radio Cayman's Cayman Strong series was brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
These days, feelings of loneliness, anxiety, stress, and depression can be overwhelming. Just know you are not alone. OnCourse Cayman offers private mental health services for children, teens, adults, and groups. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
It's the return of the Sub of the Day. Come into any Subway location and order the 6-inch Sub of the Day for only $3.50, or get the full meal for just $6.
Wow, a meal in Cayman for only $6?
Yes, and it's never been easier to get your favorites from Subway. Just stop in, message WhatsApp at 929-4658, order online, or use Let's Eat or the Bento app. Check out their Facebook or Instagram for the latest store hours. Subway, eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
JN Money Card. When my land up at JN, me get the money card with them. Just show them your ID and give them your TRN. Go and use at the ATM or swipe instead then. And when you need more cash, and make your family send it in a flash. From abroad to card, get the JN Money Card. It's safe, convenient, and free. JN Money Card only available and used in Jamaica. Call 345-945-2014 for details.
What a great spot for lunch. I haven't been here in ages.
I saw it on Experience Cayman.
What's that?
It's a free online festival showcasing all the great things to do in Cayman.
Oh, that's so cool. I'll check it out for sure. Now, what are we having for lunch?
Experience Cayman is a celebration of everything local. To rediscover all the best things to see and do in the Cayman Islands, visit gov.ky/Experience Cayman and follow Experience Cayman on Facebook and Instagram. Brought to you by the Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure.
From district to district, moving through the waters to Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Your station, your voice. All things Cayman. One radio, many people. This is home.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Linus Russell. Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We want to thank Mr. Gilbert McLean for being so patient, waiting for us through the news as well. So we're going straight to him. Mr. McLean, good morning, sir. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC, again. And your newscaster was right about the traffic from about the Chrissy Thompson roundabout to here by the farmers market. Took me about 25 minutes, and by the way, I'm on Bluetooth, so I'm not holding a phone in my hand. But I found it very interesting, the discussion you had with MLA Mr. Bryan, and about what had occurred since the passage of what was a storm, or whatever is the more correct term for what we were supposed to have.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that caught my attention, OC, was the fact that it had winds, and obviously whirlwinds or tornadoes or whatever one might term it. I did hear the director of the weather station saying that there were some tornadoes or whirlwinds within it. I think it would be helpful if when they're giving out information, they would warn the public generally not to be aware that there could be these type of systems within a system that can cause serious damage. And I dare say you have seen what happened there in the Savannah Square up near the gas station. I mean,
yes, sir.
Something different had to have happened there to take down that many trees, and to snap the light poles and all of that stuff. So I believe it would be helpful to actually inform the public more to be aware of these things. Also, you raised the point, and I think you are absolutely correct, that the process by which the government employs persons during Christmas time could be handled better if they kept some of those on full time. And why couldn't they bring them on now early? Because one would assume they got a budget to do so. Why not bring them on now when it's actually needed? I really wondered about that, and why isn't that being done? Because there are a number of trees, in particular on the eastern part of the island. Some have been cut, and I congratulate those who are dealing with it, but there's still lots to be done there. And about 2 weeks ago, I brought up the point with you on your show, OC, about the trees directly opposite the entrance of Northwood.
Yes.
I would encourage the road people to cut that logwood tree that is hanging over there, and there's about 3 more in about 100 feet of each other, because I have watched persons standing there on that quite sharp turn. That it's sharp and it's long, and you don't see who are the people there until you're almost on top of them. And I know it would make a difference. 2 people have been killed there before in car accidents over time, and I fear that if something isn't done, it's going to happen again, where somebody might be killed, So I'm just appealing to those persons. The other thing that I wanted to speak to you about, OC, was what you said, and when you gave the news, that there's over 800 people in Cayman in quarantine.
That's correct. Either at home or in a government facility.
Right. Now, OC, I seriously wince when I hear stuff like that. Who are these people? They can't be. It just keeps growing. It can't be that there are that many Caymanians overseas that's suddenly coming back and going to their homes or their relatives' homes or wherever. It has to be other persons. Who are these persons? And it seems that most of the people coming into Cayman are coming in on this so-called air bridge from the UK.
Mm-hmm. Some of them, yeah. We do have Cayman Airways as well. Sorry for talking over you, but we do have Cayman Airways that still does the Florida, the Miami route as well. I would say that it's a mixture of Caymanians as well as maybe persons returning on work permits. I know, for instance, one of our local companies, Cayman Airways itself, they have pilots who have to go for their routine training over to Miami. Of course, when they return to Cayman, just like everyone else, they're required to go on quarantine. Also, there are people who are going away for medical reasons, and when they return, so I would say it's a mixture.
Yeah, well, I appreciate what you say, but particularly the thing that concerns me is that persons on work permits are coming back here now during this time, and of course we hear the constant cry that there are Caymanians who are not employed. So I think there needs to be a very serious look at what is happening now in that regard, because why should we find ourselves in a situation where we are now that Barbados, for one thing, says, well, Cayman got coronavirus, so they were not allowing persons in there, when we were one of the countries that said we were virtually coronavirus free. And also, OC, I think more transparency, more information needs to be given to the public about what is happening with the persons who are coming in here, and let us look at those persons who are here available to work that are not working, and watch carefully what is happening with the people who are coming back here on work permits. I mean, if at this time, if any people should get an opportunity of employment, it has to be our own, or should I say, it should be our own, yes. Whether that is happening or not. I really don't know. But, you know, these are things that concern me. They will always concern me. I try to keep abreast of what is happening. And I seriously wonder what is going on. And one last thing on the point about the importation of such persons. I understand that the Cayman Islands government is paying for this British Airways flight to come into Cayman. And I've heard that it's bringing supplies and so forth and so on. Well, I don't necessarily believe that is bringing supplies all the way from across the Atlantic, when we get most of our stuff out of the United States. So I don't really buy into that. But if it is the case that the Treasury, our money, the people's money is being paid for British Airways to fly in here, I think there's something seriously wrong with that. I'm not saying that is what is happening, OC, but certainly you are a radio talk show host and you have your connections. Maybe you could find out something on that. And if the government is not saying so, then it should be nothing wrong with you bringing that to the attention once you know it as a fact.
I will certainly check that out, Mr. McLean. Definitely will.
Well, I thank you very much for taking my call and giving me the time that you did. So have a good one, and we'll talk again.
Thank you very much, Mr. McLean, and all the best to you as well.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gilbert, as well. I was listening to your conversation, but just to clarify that in respect to Finance Committee and the air bridges, the government isn't paying specifically for the air bridge from the UK. The passengers are actually. They have to pay for the tickets. One of the things that came up, actually, we were making a profit as a result of the air bridges. So at first we had to put the money up front to get things rolling, but now that we are where we are,
when people book, they have to pay.
They have to pay.
Yes.
So the core government is not paying directly for that, and we're still trying to offer those services, because in most cases, unless somebody is in a dire situation where the government will say, listen, you can't get home. But what we're having now with a lot of these air bridges is actually people going back and forth for some reason or another. I think it's fair to say that those who may have been stuck somewhere would have had an opportunity by now to come home if they needed to. So it's like, particularly with the UK, it's either government officials or students that are going back to resolve their living accommodations in the UK, or going back to school in the UK, which is up in the air back and forth because of the whole lockdown, and then they were open for a while. So the whole world is trying to work their way through this, and it's happening the same thing in the States. There were peaks and valleys of the outbreak. So and then you have medical reasons like you highlighted, particularly with the U.S., where a lot of people, their procedures can't be done in the Cayman Islands, so they have to travel. And then there's just some people who are taking the risk to say, you know what, I'll quarantine for 14 days. I can stay at home. I need to go do some shopping. I've even actually seen that. I discourage that tremendously. I think that we should stay home as much as possible unless we have to in emergency to go away.
Don't expose yourself.
Don't expose yourself. Yeah. So just to give some coverage there, but I also agree with some of what he said in respect to the information about these weather forecastings. I don't think that I've ever heard hazard management say, there's a potential chance for tornadoes, because I've heard the rumor that that's what happened in Newlands. Actually from one of the workers yesterday say, listen, he saw it. So, but it's almost expected that you can have some sort of weird wind patterns. And it just could be something that we can add to the information dissemination in respect to any weather-related matters.
And not much you can do to prepare for a tornado.
Exactly.
Like that, because it's not like we live in a tornado alley where, it is definitely a tornado. It's coming.
Yeah.
It's usually mixed with something, here in Cayman.
Yeah, so, but we can be prepared for everything in respect to high winds, because a tornado going around in a circle as opposed to wind going straight, I think they're going to cause the same damage, so to speak. But I get his point. So I'll ask hazard management to say more often, if we have these types of things, is that a warning? Is that something that's possible? And can you let the public know that? I think he's right in that respect.
In relation to the trees, one of our listeners had written in early, and they were thanking the good Lord for keeping us safe here in Cayman, and praying and supporting those persons in Honduras and Nicaragua who lost their homes and stuff. And then they spoke about the amount of trees that were blown down, especially on the public roadways. And they said that I would hope that the NRA/government officials will take note and will continue or discourage tall trees from being planted so close to the roadway. Say this is such a dangerous practice, and it left many amazed that this would be allowed. So they're saying that the tall trees that are on the roadways, that they should be discouraged. People should be discouraged from planting them there. And then as a footnote, they wanted to point out that they would hope that the trees, the vegetation, will be mulched, used for mulch as well.
Well, interesting that you bring that up, because I see in Florida on a newscast last night, even the United States is having a lot of problems to try to get all the debris away quickly. This is not going to happen fast, and I guess I should give you some heads up in respect to this. Nobody prepares to have that amount of debris all the time, so it's going to take a while for this to be dealt with. In respect to the mulching, I totally agree, because it will give nutrition back to the earth in some way, shape, or form, and potentially even offer those mulching to the public if they want to come and collect some of it, so all of it doesn't go to the landfill. In respect to the high trees, but I think there's some merit there in respect to the concerns of them being close to the road. But who wants to be told that they can't beautify their own properties, especially if their properties are close to the main road. Maybe within 5 to 8 to 10 feet within on your property could be a good suggestion. I think we have to also balance that with people's own personal preference, because we want to make sure we don't tell landowners what to do with their properties unless there's a safety risk. But there's not always a safety risk. I think one of the things we should do is encourage more pruning of our trees on a regular basis. And this is one of the things that I would like to see government do within the NICE program, which is take a set of the crew, the most able-bodied of those NICE program, and train them in how to cut trees. Because we are in a Caribbean country, and we're always going to have this type of season where there's high winds. And there are people who may not be able to afford to say, listen, I'll keep my trees trimmed properly, because it could be a damage to my neighbors or myself or my roads, and offer that service, because it would help us in the long term from any fatalities of any sort or any major damage that will end up becoming a burden on the state.
Okay, we have 2 callers queued up. We need to take a commercial break. When we return, we will take those callers. So please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
It's time to buy smart. It's time to buy Ropers. Find everything for your home and kitchen at low prices at Ropers, your neighborhood store. Value, integrity. Ropers also offers complete janitorial service for commercial, industrial, and residential. They get the job done right every time. 122 Industrial Way, 949-2511, or email janitorial@ropers.ky. Clean up your spending with Ropers and stay prepared. 949-2511. Ropers, providing products and services for better public health.
Fidelity Bank would like to thank all essential workers. We salute your efforts and thank you for the sacrifices you've made to keep us all safe. During these challenging times we're facing, our top priority is the health and safety of the communities we serve. And while it's true that things are changing rapidly every day, one thing that will never change is our commitment to giving you the best and sound financial solutions to help you during and after the coronavirus pandemic. At Fidelity Bank, our focus will always be you. Fidelity, we're good for you.
Stronger, wider, higher, lighter. The all-new Ford Ranger Raptor.
Powerfully built with a 2.0 diesel Panther engine and 210 horsepower. Modern with leather interior and 8-inch touchscreen, Sync 3 technology and power features. Tough, built to handle the off-road with 4-wheel drive, terrain modes, and 10-speed automatic transmission. Coming early October to Vamped Motors, Walkers Road. To find out more and to test drive the bold new Ford Ranger Raptor, visit Vamped Motors, Walkers Road, or call 949-8288.
Do you remember when 2020 was great?
I don't think it was
2020 vision, not the year.
right.
Make 2020 great again with Optical Outlook, the new West Bay store now open. With their designer frames and sunglasses, eye health has never looked so good. Call 746-2020 and book your eye exam today at Caymanian Village and now at Jake Scott Plaza in West Bay, offering premier eye care in Cayman for over 30 years. Come see the difference with Optical Outlook.
System 1 loaded. 1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the record.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. My pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning, MLA, Mr. Kenneth Bryan. 2 callers. First caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. How are you?
Good morning to you, Mr. Bryan. I'm fine. OC, how are you?
I'm good. And yourself?
Okay, I'm good.
Good.
OC, I've been calling your station for some time now in regards to landowners with these trees hanging over our main roads. When it comes to beautification, I do consider these trees that are hanging over the main road to damage or to kill someone passing by. And I really feel, like Brian just said, we can't tell homeowners what to do with their trees and so forth, but I feel that we should have some sort of restriction when especially coming to your main front, on your sides, to your neighbors. And if you don't have the property for these amount of trees that you want to plant, there should be some sort of restriction. And to think about how planning can come and tell you what you can do with your house, they should start working on these trees as well, too, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Real. But I just want to say, OC, that I really, really, truly believe that something needs to be done with the landowners of their property, because they grow these trees and they don't care where they go afterwards. And Brian said about getting the guys to come out there and about giving these guys a course on how to prune trees. Let that be the landowner responsibility to maintain their own trees in the yard. That is my opinion. And I really truly feel that we are sitting here in Cayman, in a Caribbean island. It's okay to be beautifying the island, but we need to remember there's not every tree that is growing elsewhere that can stand up in the Cayman Islands when it comes to bad weather. And we do not know what the weather is going to bring from now on, because then this is twice now that the government alert us in housing management and so forth about these two tropical storms. And look at what, this one was worse than the other one. So when they say that we have to close down certain parts of the island, I think we need to listen and stop criticizing, because we didn't expect no tornado in this weather here when we had a couple of days ago. And look at the water we got from it, and thank God that we're all okay. But see, before I leave, I just want to say that Water Authority, you know, Water Authority is making money off of these meters, and the amount of money they make off of these meters and do not maintain them properly in people's yards. It is a shame to know.
When you say maintain them, you mean they're not working?
The lid.
Okay.
It's not covered properly. On 2 occasions, I had them to come out here and put a lid on my water line cover, and it's right by the road. And every time that we get some weather, they disappear. Can't find them. So what I'm trying to say is, they need to come out here to people's yards and do some sort of billing up on where the water meter is sitting, and make sure that that lid is in there properly, weather or no weather. Just how CUC can put a lock on their meter. I think this water need to be secure as well, because I had lots of water sitting in my yard. And when I went to go to where my plant was located, I forgot that the water line was even there. And when I got up on it, I realized the lid wasn't on it. So I could have stepped into that hole. You understand?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, I can't put no plants there in the ground. They don't tell me if any plants go in the ground, they will destroy their water line. So I have to keep them in pots. But if I can keep my plants in pots, they need to come out too and try to protect persons from falling into their water lines when these covers are not sitting in properly. Look at CUC with the new bypass here that name what's the man name? The Newland bypass.
Rex Triton Boulevard.
Rex Triton Boulevard. They just put 2 brand new cement poles down on that corner. Or see, if anything was to happen, they gotta come right across, left and right. They are too close to the road. I mean, we not got no property to put nothing down here, but yet we got property to put these humongous trees down and probably try to kill someone in the future. And the eucalyptus tree, they need to consider about removing that tree. Because if they think that she's not rotting in the middle of her, they got another guest coming.
I'm sorry, but I don't agree with you on that one.
Is that on private property or on public property?
Private property, I guess. Brian, let me tell you something. The day that tree comes down and kill half a dozen people over crossing there in cars, you will not say what you say right now, sir. That tree need to be removed.
Well, what we have to do we also have to encourage people to stay off the road when there is inclement weather.
Of the matter, or see, that tree can come down without bad weather, sweetheart. That can come down without bad weather. That tree been there from, I know myself, and I'm 64 years old. That tree is rotting inside like many other trees, and this island is hanging over the road. Did you drive through South Sound lately, OC? Have you been through South Sound?
This morning.
You see all the stuff that came off of those private owner trees in the road?
They must have cleared most of it. There wasn't anything there this morning when I came through.
It was all there Sunday and Monday. So whoever went in there yesterday and cleaned up, they did a blasted good job, because it was there Monday and Sunday. But anyhow, thanks for listening to me.
Okay, thank you.
And we need to take these trees serious.
Okay, thank you very much, caller. Let's grab another caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hey, good morning to you and Kenny as well.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
I'm calling in respect to the subject this morning, and the one and only Mr. Never McLean covered one of those, which was just in touch on the quarantine situation with these people coming in. I have a particular problem because I know somebody who went away and came back in quarantine, and their device went out from the Thursday, and up until they were being released from quarantine the next week Thursday, no one had come and checked the device, even though the individual had called and made them aware of the device problem. I have a problem with that. I have a very big problem with that. That individual was very disciplined. But when we going to start bringing people in here from all walks of life who don't want quarantine in their own land, how to say that they find a loophole that they're going to quarantine in Cayman? It ain't going to never happen. It ain't going to happen. So I do have a problem with that because, you know, we have been a very patient society to work with the government while they implemented their strategies to overcome COVID. We stayed at home. We were very disciplined, suffice to say. We had a couple of nutters who was on the road when they were not supposed to be. They were prosecuted, and albeit, but for the vast majority of us, we complied with the instructions handed down by the government. But if the government can become willy-nilly, and what I can't understand, it amazes me to see where we continue this air bridge amidst the UK going on a lockdown. And we can see every week that we are testing, someone is being positive with this COVID. When it gets in the community again, which is not long from now, we're going to stop this nonsense about an air bridge, and we're going to realize that what we are doing is indeed that of nonsense. Okay? Eric Caymanian that wanted to come back home had the opportunity to come back home. We're now importing other people. Not necessary at this stage. Secondly, if you traverse the bypass going to West Bay, I don't know whether it's to the Tibbetts that goes all the way down to
Badamanoo?
Badamanoo, I don't know. I'm not aware.
I get confused sometimes too, which one is the Harkrail and which one is the Tibbetts.
Right, exactly. But, see, I want to offer a sage piece of advice to the government, because it seems as if, I don't know what the terms and conditions was with maintaining the medium, but it's atrocious. It is, the bush is moving so much. You have a hard time when you get to the bypass, which you can then go to West Bay Road and continue on to Badamanoo. It is in such an atrocious state that you can have to see a vehicle coming from the other direction.
Yeah. I noticed it this morning.
Yeah, may I offer a sage piece of advice? And I can tell him where to get the material from. It's very, very easy. We don't have to import that one. That's already here. Go to the agriculture department. They got some black cloth up there that you put down to keep bush from growing. Pull it all that bush that's there. Make it a one-time deal. Go agriculture department, and the Thompson got a lot of it too, because I went there and they got a lot of it too.
I think they call it ground cover. They call it ground cover.
Ground cover, yeah. Yes. Okay, fine. Thank you very much, sir. And Bernadette got more gravel than you can shake a stick out up East End up there. Between East End and Button Town. Buy gravel from Bernadette. Buy the cloth from agriculture and Hale Thompson. And put that down there. No more maintenance. No more maintenance. At the present moment, they're not being maintained. I don't know who is responsible with it. Start of Cayman Island government. They're not being maintained, and it's atrocious. It is atrocious, to say the least. Kenny, I know that you're the one voice crying in the wilderness, but if you have a wherewithal, bring that up, because that is the median needs to be properly cleaned And the easy way to do it is put gravel in them, put down the cloth and put gravel in them. There is no need for us to have where we can't see vehicles coming to us because of bush. OC, Kenny, you all take care and have a good day.
Okay, thank you very much, caller. We still have one caller on hold, Mr. Brian, who has a few things that he wants to cover as well. Take a quick commercial break. We're going to take the caller after, close the phone lines off. The phone lines will be open again after 9 o'clock. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Stronger, wider, higher, lighter. The all-new Ford Ranger Raptor.
Powerfully built with a 2.0 diesel Panther engine and 210 horsepower. Modern with leather interior and 8-inch touchscreen, Sync 3 technology and power features. Tough, built to handle the off-road with 4-wheel drive, terrain modes, and 10-speed automatic transmission. Coming early October to Vamped Motors, Walkers Road. To find out more and to test drive the bold new Ford Ranger Raptor, visit Vamped Motors, Walkers Road, or call 949-8288.
No, man. My bill seem huge again, and I don't know what to do about it. I gotta look some help.
We can help. The Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure has teamed up with CUC to give you the chance to win a home energy makeover worth up to $20,000. Not only will this lower your utility bills, it will increase your home's value. We are also giving away 8 home energy audits worth up to $1,900 each. Open to all homeowners in Grand Cayman. Entry is now open via www.energy.gov.ky/competition. Proudly sponsored by CEL Cooling, Mitsubishi, Foam Pros, Cooling Pros, and more. Use less, save more. Enter today.
Hi, I'm remodeling our bathroom. I have a few questions.
Sure.
What are some ideas to make my bathroom feel larger? How do I know if I'm picking the right vanity? How do I choose a new toilet or a new countertop? Also, the lighting is terrible. Can I put a window or a skylight? And do I really need an exhaust fan?
You've come to the right place. At Brand Source, we custom design kitchen and baths, and our talented design team can help answer your questions. Whether you're looking for a modern, functional family bathroom or a luxurious personal retreat, we'll help create that beautiful space that makes your home yours. And if you're in a rush for a new look and have a limited budget, our ready-to-install bathroom vanities, built with solid wood and countertops of the finest materials, are a quick and easy remodeling solution.
For the very best in custom-designed kitchens and baths, visit Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, Cayman's Kitchen and Bath Center.
Digital is not a buzzword, it is a culture. At Digicel, we've made it our mission to enrich your digital lives. That's why we're bringing together more of all the experiences you love. The latest shows, the best of local and international music and radio, live sports, cloud storage, breaking news, HD video chats, and more. Welcome to Digital at Digicel, the Caribbean's fastest mobile network. Digicel, better together.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, MLA Mr. Kenneth Bryan. One caller on hold. This is going to be the last caller before Mr. Bryan leaves. And then once Mr. Bryan has wrapped up and we go to a commercial break, when we return, the phone lines will be open again. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC. Good morning, Mr. Kenneth Bryan.
Good morning,
sir. Good morning, sir.
2 issues here. The first issue is the public bus system in this country. It's really a big problem we have in the public bus system. And the behavior of some of the drivers, I'm not saying all the drivers, but some of the drivers, the language they use, the way how they dress. Imagine you see a public bus driver walking, his pants drop and showing his boxer. And the behavior is, and the language is they carry kids, they carry ladies, they carry the music they play. It's becoming a disaster and a problem in this country. And in Saturday, for example, it's where is Funky Tanks? It's the area where is Mr. Kenneth area, and they make opposite Funky Tanks as a public depot, and they carry people from there. They don't go to the public bus depot where is the public library. You don't find no bus in Saturday in public bus depot. And the other problem is the inspectors, they don't have no power. And I'm asking Mr. Kenneth if he can bring a motion to give those inspectors the powers as a police officer to give a ticket for those drivers. And the whole issue of public transport is becoming a problem in this country because we have those bus drivers misbehaving, doing all illegal stuff. They playing bad music. They not wearing masks. They overcrowded the bus. And the director of public transport, unfortunately, we have somebody who is unresponsible, who can't do his job very well. And the same thing, the public transport board, they are not doing a good job. They are politically motivated, and they can't do the owners of the public bus drivers anything because they afraid of the issue of some issues. The second thing, it shocked me that the Stingray City, that those stingrays, they can't get enough food and they are leaving the Stingray City. And this is attraction, a tourism attraction. They put it in the hand of somebody named Gay Harvey. I don't know what this person collect money in the name of research of oceans, have foundation, collecting money. I don't know who watched this money, where it be spent.
Carla, do you have evidence that this person is collecting money for that purpose? Unless you can support that, you should just say that you hope and trust that the person isn't. But unless you have evidence to support it, I'm not going to let you allow you to make those claims.
The government put the hand of the Stingray City in the hand of this man.
But you understand what has happened with the stingrays, right? The stingrays got to a point where before the humans started to interact with the stingrays were out there surviving. They were surviving on their own instincts. When people started to feed them, then they became dependent on human beings to feed them. So now they're having to readopt again. That's the problem when you find humans starting to interact with other creatures.
Yes, but what I'm asking is, that is the job of the government. Where is the government from all of that? Mm-hmm. Department of Environment.
Yeah.
That's the job of the government. It's not the job of Gay Harvey or anybody.
Well, caller, can I ask you a question? I hear you in respect to your concerns about somebody else doing it, but if you have a professional, somebody who knows about the marine life that is, that is well known and respected, and who obviously has an interest in the survival of the stingrays, why not allow them, unless they're charging the government, to be involved in keeping the welfare and health of the Stingray City going well? What's wrong with that? Is there something specific that you see there's a problem with that?
No, if he volunteered to do such job and he's not doing the job, he say he not have enough people, why he don't go to the government and say, I can't do this job. This is the job of the government. They have to do it.
Is he saying he can't do the job? I mean, I'm just trying to find where the conflict is. What is the problem?
Nobody is feeding the stingrays now.
No, that's not true. That's not true. There are people who are committed to going out there on a regular basis to feed them. I'm well aware of that. We talked about that in the Legislative Assembly just 2 weeks ago.
Yes, but but there is still not the job. It should be done.
You're saying it should be the government's job to do it rather than private sector?
I read from many posts from people who work in the tourism sector. They are saying the same. All are indicating, from what I get from people who work in the tourism sector, that the job not being done properly.
But those people in the tourism sector, if they're involved in doing the tours out to Stingray City, they have a lot of vested interest in it as well. They should be participating also.
Caller, sorry, I apologize for interrupting. I just want to make sure I understand your concern so I can try to help address it, right? So are you saying that they're not being fed and people are doing it on their own because the government is not taking the responsibility to get somebody either contracted or directly from government to do it? Is that what you're saying?
I think the government have the staff in Department of Environment to do the job, and they should do it.
Okay. All right. Well, what I'll do is find out exactly whether or not they are the ones doing it themselves. Do they have somebody else contracted to do it, paid or unpaid, or has there been somebody selected to volunteer to do it? Because I've actually seen them myself. Luckily, myself and Graham have gone fishing and seen people go out there specifically just to feed them and then leave. So I know it's happening, and I guess what your concern is to make sure it happens on a constant basis so their survival is well. Am I correct?
Yes, correct.
I will look into it for you.
Are you willing to bring a motion in the legislation assembly to give the inspectors of public transport the power of a police officer to give a ticket?
150%. We are on the same page that I am so fed up with the bus service and how they operate out there. So I don't want to say too much because I don't want to lose any support. But I am not happy with how we do bus service here. I am totally disgusted the way the bus drivers are taking over the service here, and the transport department and the minister refuses to do anything about it. The fact that they don't even go to the depot downtown in the Central Park on Saturday, the fact that they've taken over the Flow parking lot to a point where the company is calling me, asking me to help with the situation, I am sick and tired of it. The minister, the Honorable Moses Colonel, needs to do something about it. The minister, Joseph Hugh, who's in charge of transport in Cayman, needs to do something about it. I am still waiting to hear what we're going to do about the bus service in Cayman, because that's supposed to be a part of the problem, the solution to traffic, and we keep on hearing the talk and nothing happens. And I can promise you this, going into the next campaign, you're going to hear it again. We're going to do this and fix the bus service. This is 2 elections from 2013, 2017. We're going to hear it again in 2021. So I'm to be honest, I was trying not to answer you on that part because that one drives me up the wall. They don't care and they've taken control over it. And I must say, there's a specific nationality that is carrying this out, in their common culture to how they respond to persons is given a negative connotation in our public transport. And I'm not happy with it. We operate differently in Cayman and it needs to change. If I was elected to be a minister, that would be surely the one that I would like to take, because that needs a clean up. And I'll leave that there. I apologize for my rant.
Caller, thank you very much for that. Top of the hour. Headline news at 9 o'clock. Mr. Brown, you may have to stay a little bit over just to get your other sector in as well. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Satisfaction is guaranteed 24 hours a day, whether it's music or information.
From Grand Cayman to Cayman Brac to Little Cayman, we've got you covered.
You ever hear a thing like that?
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman.
It's only 2 species that we have, on the island.
Generations present.
Your voice, your choice.
It is in the best interest of the people of these islands.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
A 23-year-old Georgetown man faces 8 offenses related to several incidents between the 24th of October and the 4th of November. Police say the incidents included threatening a property owner, unlawful entry, brandishing a machete, and assault. He has been formally charged with criminal trespass, 3 counts of causing fear or provocation of violence, assault causing actual bodily harm, possession of a restricted weapon, driving without insurance, and driving while disqualified. He appeared in court on Tuesday and has been remanded into custody. In news elsewhere, the U.S. hit a record number of coronavirus hospitalizations Tuesday and surpassed 1 million new confirmed cases in just the first 10 days of November, amid a nationwide surge of infections that shows no signs of slowing. The new wave appears bigger and more widespread than the surges that happened in the spring and summer and threatens to be worse. But experts say there are also reasons to think the nation is better able to deal with the virus this time around. The 2020 U.S. election unfolded smoothly across the country and without any widespread irregularities, according to state officials and election experts, a stark contrast to the baseless claims of fraud being levied by President Donald Trump following his defeat. Election experts said the large increase in advance voting, 107 million people voting early in person and by mail, helped take pressure off Election Day operations. There were also no incidents of violence at the polls or voter intimidation. Those are your latest headlines here on Radio Cayman. I'm Shanda Gallego.
For the latest in news and information,
follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, radiocayman.gov.ky.
Your voice, your choice, your radio.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We've delayed Mr. Kenneth Bryan in his departure, but we're going to close the phone lines off now so that Mr. Bryan can cover a few issues that he wants to. Mr. Bryan.
Thank you so much, OC. For the gentlemen who were working with me to help with the cleanup, some of you may be listening to the radio. I'm hoping that some of you are, and you know I'm supposed to be at the office with you at 9 o'clock for us to get started. This is my primary focus and job, so you guys are going to have to just wait around for a little bit. I'll be there in the next 10 minutes. OC, I just wanted to mention to the listening audience some of the things that will be coming to the Legislative Assembly in the next sitting. And we're expected to, actually, if things go well today in the UK, as of tomorrow, will be considered to be a parliament. Mm-hmm. So the next sitting will be the next sitting of the Cayman Islands Parliament. So in that sitting, we're expected to have a number of bills come into the House. One that many people may be aware of, because it's one of the key part of our industry, which is the Legal Services Bill. This bill is related to regulating the law firms that make up much of our financial services sector. We know that there's lawyers operating overseas without Cayman qualifications. We know that there's not enough Caymanians who are working their way up the ranks of partnership in many of these firms. Mm-hmm. This bill hopes to address some of the irregularities of the industry, as well as give more protection to Caymanians within this industry, as well as to make sure that we're compliant in many of the ways that the other jurisdictions across the world operate. Now, granted, we are very, let me say, how do I say this? We're at top notch in respect to compliance in anything else in the world and in this industry. But what I'm saying is there's some things that we don't have that causes us to have a bit of a black mark on our industry. Say, for instance, we don't have some major code of conducts in respect to the industry. We want to improve the AML supervision in respect to the industry and regulate the overseas practices of lawyers so they're not undermining Cayman legislation and reputation across the world. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to get too much into the details of it until the next next show, where I can go down specific line by line of the bill. Okay. So there's a better understanding. There's another bill that will be coming, the Healthcare Decisions Bill. The Penal Code Bill, haven't had a chance to go through that one yet as a result of just coming out of the House and then dealing with the tropical storm. And then we have some Virtual Assets Amendment Bill. That one I think may be a bit interesting, if I dare say, that could potentially create some noise around the island. The other ones, forgive me, is the Companies Amendment Bill, the Citation of Acts of Parliament Bill. Now, this one is specific to the change of name to the Legislative Assembly to Parliament. Basically, one act that says all parts of our laws that say law, it would then change the word to act, because we're moving from a legislative assembly.
So it becomes an act of parliament as opposed to a law of parliament.
It's law of the legislative assembly. So that's just a technicality for our transition into our new way moving forward. And we have a properties amendment provision. So there's a number of bills that are coming, and I want to be able to highlight these now, so those of you who've heard any of these contexts of the changes, if you want to know what the specific changes are, you can go to, I forgot what the name of the website again. I think it's Gazette's, not Gazette's. Oh boy. Well, I'm going to get it for you so you can give it out to the public. Where
or
all
they can
the
go to the main government website, and they can then go on to the Legislative Assembly, and you will have the bills there as well.
Yes. But the Attorney General just created a nice website. That's right. I can't remember the name of it. That they list all bills from as far back as you possibly can, even up to the very latest ones, and they'll at the front page of it will be the ones that are coming current. So it's making it more easier and accessible to the public, so you can have a read of these things. And I'm sorry that I'm ill prepared in that way, that not to have that for you.
I'll see if I can find it before you leave.
But if I can get it after I leave, if you can't find it now, I will definitely send it to you so the public can look into that. OC, that being said, I am sorry that I have to leave early this morning, as I'm trying to get my constituency cleaned up from all this debris. I hope that the government will have some announcement soon as to the Christmas cleanup, because it's working out for the perfect timing, or not perfect timing, because I didn't want to have to deal with this storm at all. But if we had to have the storm and have these trees falling and the like, at least we'll have work for those who want to be a part of the Christmas cleanup program, or the NICE program, better known as. In respect to when that's going to happen, I assume that the Honorable Joey Hew will make some announcements as the minister in charge of that soon. The last time I heard about that was in the Legislative Assembly 3 weeks ago, and they said possibly the end of November, first week of December, in respect to the work. So I as soon as I find out, I'll let the public know.
That website is legislation.gov.ky.
That is it.
Legislation. Okay.
So that will give you all the things that you need to have in respect to any bills that are coming to the House, any new amendments, that if you want to read them, if it causes concern for you and you're in my constituency and you want me to highlight something in there, or you have issues with it, I would like to hear them, because I work for you, the good people of Georgetown Central. That being said, I want to leave this last thing before I go.
Sure.
For those who are in Georgetown Central, if you live in my constituency, and I'm sorry I'm specific for Georgetown today because I only have so much resources and I have to focus on my constituency. If you are in Georgetown Central, and if you've had a tree fallen in your yard and you can't afford to have somebody else remove it, I've decided to hire a group of men to come and assist me, and one beautiful lady to come and assist me with cutting up that debris and removing it closer to the road, so the Department of Environmental Health can come and remove it. Now, I know that many of you may not have the affordability or the physicality to go do that yourself. So if you want to give me a call, 926-0005, 926-0005, to let me know, and I'll try to get to you today, because today's our last day. It's the only money I can afford, because I got to pay 12 persons $10 an hour for 2 days. And if you now I start to realize how the money adds up.
You're paying them over minimum wage,
and we're feeding them for lunch as well. Wow. Today is our last day, so we move pretty quickly. When you got 12 people, you'd be surprised how fast you can move.
So how many chainsaws you have?
I got 3 chainsaws and a lot of arms.
Yeah.
So all we're doing is cutting it up and putting it closer to the road so the department can later on come by and pick it up with the grab truck.
Yeah.
So if you want to reach out to me and you're having an issue in the constituency of Georgetown Central, if it's outside of my constituency, unfortunately, I'm going to direct you to the representative over there, because I have to take care of my own. If I was in cabinet and I had access to the government money, then I'd be happy to come and do it. But the other persons who are in the house got to take responsibility for their area. I only have the little salary that I do get, and I have to share that up, try to get people work, try to do cleanups and all those stuff. And as much as I love all of Cayman, OC, don't get me wrong, I love all of Cayman.
But you can't spread yourself too thin.
I can't spread myself too thin, and then I leave my people out. So that's the only reason there. So it's specific for persons who are in Georgetown Central. Now, if you don't know the specific borders of Georgetown Central, if you voted in Georgetown Central the last time, that means your house is in Georgetown Central. So again, 926-0005, 926-0005. You can WhatsApp me, you can text me, or you can call me. And if you have that problem in your yard, I'll try to come assist you as much as I can. OC, thank you so much.
You better hurry, because your workers are going to dock your pay to this morning instead of you docking theirs.
I'm paying them right now. They're sitting down. OC, thank you so much. God bless the listening audience.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Brown. We still have about 3 minutes before we go to our next commercial break. I will share this one with you. This one actually was intended for Mr. Bryan as well, and I'm sure he'll be able to listen when he reaches his vehicle. It says, with the increase in COVID-19 infections being overwhelmingly brought into the Cayman Islands by travelers, it appears that the Airbridge and global citizen initiatives need to be immediately restructured, especially according to the government fees charged to these travelers, who are only charged a really peculiar, cheap fee of little over $1,000 and some odd cents, as further explained from the ministry, for all these imported cases of COVID-19 these travelers are bringing into Cayman. There's no difference comparing these cheap government fees for a global citizen and the Airbridge travelers to a glut of cruise ship passengers or discount tickets when Cayman suffers more adverse effects by their mere overcrowding presence in Cayman. If Caymanians have to survive in one of the most expensive places in the world, why are we allowing travelers to bring all this infection so easily and cheaply? As usual, Caymanians are getting the bad end of the deal. Change these government fee structures for incoming travelers immediately. So that's what the person is saying. I think right now what people have to understand is that what the government is doing is, in a very careful manner, attempting to ensure that those persons who need to travel in and out of the Cayman Islands are able to do so without putting the rest of the populace at any undue risk. Hence the reason for quarantine. I believe we've reached a point where there's no need to shut down altogether. We have seen the government been able to control the rate of infection. There is very little or no local infections taking place. So far, things are going pretty good. And I'm sure that if we were to see our fortunes starting to reverse, the government would step in immediately and change the policy in that regard. As far as the fees are concerned, that's another issue, but it shouldn't be a situation where the government should be seen to be trying to make a profit of this. This should really be able to cover their expenses and not necessarily make a profit off it. And at the same time, you do not want to make the price, the fees and the costs so restrictive that no one wants to come. Remember, the quarantine, the air bridge, it is not there to punish people. It's there to try to keep our lines of communication, keep our lines of travel open as well, because it benefits, all of those who need to travel, including us here in the Cayman Islands in terms of goods being able to be brought in as well. Time for us to take a commercial break. The phone lines are open again. Mr. Bryan is no longer with us, but we can still continue to converse if you so wish. So please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
No, man. My bills seem huge again, and I don't know what to do about it. I gotta look some help.
We can help. The Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure has teamed up with CUC to give you the chance to win a home energy makeover worth up to $20,000. Not only will this lower your utility bills, it will increase your home's value. We are also giving away 8 home energy audits worth up to $1,900 each. Open to all homeowners in Grand Cayman. Entry is now open via www.energy.gov.ky/competition. Proudly sponsored by CEL Cooling, Mitsubishi, Foam Pros, Cooling Pros, and more. Use less, save more. Enter today.
Fidelity Bank would like to thank all essential workers. We salute your efforts and thank you for the sacrifices you've made to keep us all safe. During these challenging times we're facing, our top priority is the health and safety of the communities we serve. And while it's true that things are changing rapidly every day, one thing that will never change is our commitment to giving you the best and sound financial solutions to help you during and after the coronavirus pandemic. At Fidelity Bank, our focus will always be you. Fidelity, we're good for you.
Honey, our fridge has stopped working again. Everything in the freezer is melting. We need to get this repaired right away. I'm calling Brand Source Service.
When you need the very best appliance service, call Brand Source Service at 623-5000. Offering service and installation of all brands and models of appliances. Brand Source Service is Cayman's source for appliance parts and repairs, with qualified and experienced technicians and the island's largest stock of appliance parts. Brand Source Service will have your repair completed in a flash. So, whatever the problem is, call the experts at 623-5000. Brand Source Service, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park. Telephone 623-5000.
Green Turtle. Modern solutions to get you through the new normal. Download the Green Turtle app now and top up yours or a loved one's phone with any mobile carrier in any destination. Home delivery of laptops, tablets, phones, accessories, and iTunes and major online retailer gift cards. And now, home deliveries of groceries and courier service. Guaranteed delivery within 2 hours from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Visit their list of products at greenturtle.ky or download the Green Turtle app today. Green Turtle is not only the future of mobile, but today it can help save a life. Take a ride on the Green Turtle Express today. Download the Green Turtle app. The future of mobile, saving lives today.
Shaken yet standing firm.
I was not built to break.
This is Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. Mr. Bryan has left us to go to his constituency with his crew, cleanup crew, to cut up fallen trees for those members of his constituents who are unable to do so, either because of financial constraints or physical constraints as well. And he should be commended for taking that initiative as well. So kudos go out to Mr. Kenneth Bryan for taking that in hand as well. Just want to mention one more thing about the quarantine. You know, people may criticize it, may talk about the risks associated with quarantine, either at home or at a government facility. And I will say to you that I have spoken to persons who have been quarantined at government facilities, and the protocols are strict. They're intense. Little or no contact with persons. When your food is brought to you, it's put on a table in a container outside. Once you have been notified that it is outside, you have to wait for a particular period of time before you can then open your door and go and get what has been placed out there for you. That is one of the reasons why we're not ending up with local infections, because the quarantine has been working so well. Now, yes, people are appalled at the numbers of persons who are quarantined, but it is quite obvious that it is a manageable number, and at the same time, we're also providing employment for those persons who have to monitor them, as well as those persons who may work in those facilities as well. Now, of course, we're getting messages and WhatsApp messages and others talking about the hotels and the fact that some of them are bringing back work permit holders and at the same time restricting their Caymanian workers to 3 days per week. You're certainly not going to bring a work permit holder back on island and restrict them to 3 days per week. And that is something that needs to be looked into if that is occurring as well. On another front, talking about cleanup, the government has just announced their bulk waste collection campaign for the holiday season, and the DEH bulk waste removal campaign will begin on Monday, the 16th of November, 2020, and it will conclude on Monday, the 21st of December. So from the 16th of November to the 21st of December. And there are dates for particular areas. I will share them with you now, but more notices will come out, I'm sure, in that regard. Follow it up. If you have a neighborhood watch group, share it in your neighborhood watch group. Members of our Legislative Assembly, soon to be parliamentarians, share it with your constituents, because what you don't want to happen is you put your bulk waste out there after they have left your district, and then it stays out there and becomes an eyesore for the whole holiday season as well. So in Grand Cayman, East End and North Side, Monday the 16th of November to the 21st of November. East End and North Side. Bordentown, November the 23rd to the 5th of December. Georgetown, the 7th of December to the 12th of December. West Bay, the 14th of December to the 19th of December. Cayman Brac East, December 9th and 10th. Cayman Brac West, December 16th to 17th. Cayman Brac South, December 18th. Little Cayman, December 22nd. Right? And some more instructions that go with it. It says that bulk waste must be placed on the curbside where it is easily accessible to DEH collection crews, but will not obstruct the roadway. Bulk items that are put out after the scheduled dates will not be collected. So folks, please pay attention to that. If you put it out after the dates that they have indicated, it will not be collected. Other instructions: metals and vegetable waste must be separate from other bulk waste items. Metal waste includes items such as old appliances, metal furniture, and metal roofing, while vegetable waste includes plant trimmings and tree branches. And some of you will have some of those tree branches as well. It says bulk waste refers to large items such as old furniture, household appliances, and vegetable waste are not collected as part of the DEH's weekly residential pickup services. Construction and demolition debris are not considered bulk waste and will not be collected during the bulk waste removal activity. So if you have a contractor or if you're a self-contractor and you're working on your house, take away your construction waste because it does not form a part of the bulk waste process that the DEH will be picking up as well. So don't try to skimp. If you're a contractor, don't try to make extra money by charging your customer the cost for removal, but trying to leave it out there for DEH to pick it up, because they will not pick it up if it's construction material. Also goes on to say, those are my words as well. Huh? In addition, information about the DEH's bulk waste removal, you can visit their website at www.deh.gov.ky, and for queries, telephone number 949-8793 or 948-2321 for persons located in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. I will repeat the dates for you. Starting Monday, the 16th of November, East End, right? East End, 16th of November to the 21st of November. Borden Town, the 23rd of November to the 5th of December. And let's just stick with those dates for now, those two dates, because we're in November. So for East End and North Side, the 16th to the 21st, Borden Town, the 23rd to the 5th of December. We will continue to update you with this because it is important, and we have been doing it long enough now for people to get it right. But no doubt, come Christmas Day, if you're driving around, you're going to see stuff on the roadside because people simply do not follow instructions. And we're asking you, please follow the instructions. Please comply with the instructions. 2 callers, taking a commercial break. When we return, we will take the callers, so please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
Green Turtle. Modern solutions to get you through the new normal. Download the Green Turtle app now and top up yours or a loved one's phone with any mobile carrier in any destination. Home delivery of laptops, tablets, phones, accessories, and iTunes and major online retailer gift cards. And now, home deliveries of groceries and courier service. Guaranteed delivery within 2 hours from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Visit their list of products at greenturtle.ky or download the Green Turtle app today. Green Turtle is not only the future of mobile, but today it can help save a life. Take a ride on the Green Turtle Express today. Download the Green Turtle app, the future of mobile, saving lives today.
No, man. My bill seem huge again, and I don't know what to do about it. I gotta look some help.
We can help. The Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure has teamed up with CUC to give you the chance to win a home energy makeover worth up to $20,000. Not only will this lower your utility bills, it will increase your home's value. We are also giving away 8 home energy audits worth up to $1,900 each. Open to all homeowners in Grand Cayman. Entry is now open via www.energy.gov.ky/competition. Proudly sponsored by CEL Cooling, Mitsubishi, Foam Pros, Cooling Pros, and more. Use less, save more. Enter today.
Fidelity Bank would like to thank all essential workers. We salute your efforts and thank you for the sacrifices you've made to keep us all safe. During these challenging times we're facing, our top priority is the health and safety of the communities we serve. And while it's true that things are changing rapidly every day, one thing that will never change is our commitment to giving you the best and sound financial solutions to help you during and after the coronavirus pandemic. At Fidelity Bank, our focus will always be you. Fidelity, we're good for you.
You are listening to Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. No guest in the studio. Mr. Brian left us early. He has embarked on a cleanup project for his constituents, those who are either financially or physically unable to effect the cutting down of trees that may have fallen during the tropical depression, tropical storm that we had in the area in the past few days. He has a crew of 10, 12 persons out there that he is paying from his own pocket to do that work. Certainly quite commendable, of Mr. Brian to do that as well. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning.
Good morning, my friend. How art thou?
I'm just listening to 45 minutes of it. Oh, Coke, do your Anna thing, please. I don't want to help this laugh. Oh, you even sounded a little terse about us. Irresponsible. Oh, my goodness, you're fine this morning, my friend. Bye. Good day.
Take care. All the best. Next caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hello, see, I don't like to call back twice.
No problem. When you call, you always have something, useful to say, something of importance as well. Don't mind you calling back at all.
Thank you, O.C. I really appreciate that. O.C., the whole thing here is that whilst I am not opposed to the government allowing people to come back here, I think that there's got to be a balance in how it is done. I mean, I hear the horror stories of entities bringing back foreign labor.
Yes.
And Caymanians being put to a certain minimum amount of hours per week. The government should not allow that to happen, because this is a one time in the life history of the Cayman Islands that we are now in a position to boost our Caymanians in all respective fields, especially in that of tourism. I have always said that one of the things that I admire most of all, and I use Jamaica because I have not been privy to much travel within the Caribbean, but I've been privy to travel in Jamaica. And when you go to Jamaica, it is Jamaicans that is serving you. You're not going to find any other nationality serving you in the hospitality industry besides Jamaicans, and they're well trained in their respective fields. They are well trained, and customer service. They know customer service. I mean, I have developed many friendships in Jamaica over the way in which they regard customer service to such a high standard. So, and then the other thing that gets me that I'm a bit perturbed about is that when I hear the stories from credible persons who have been on the quarantine program and highlight that their device has gone out, yes, and has had absolutely no response to the device going out, but just because that individual was very, very, he's a stalwart within himself and the way in which he conducts himself, and the way in which he believes things should be conducted, that he was very defiant that he was not going to leave the confines of his home, even though the device had gone out. Now, let's ask ourselves a couple of questions. See, when you're being quarantined for 14 days, your liberty has been taken away from you.
Yep.
Not a lot of people will enjoy their liberty being taken away from them. Hence, if their device, if there's any sort of a way for them to manipulate that situation that they're in, they're going to do it.
Yep.
And we are seeing every week, we are seeing the chief medical officer coming back telling us that one or two travelers has tested positive for COVID-19. We only need one of them to get out there to sneak into a bar one night. Just use a bar one night, because 9 out of 10 times they come out, they go and have a drink. Sneak in a bar one night and infect 5 people. There's 5 people. In a matter of weeks, that could be 1,000 people infected. Because we are all out there enjoying ourselves with the belief that those that is surrounding us is all negative for COVID. So we don't seek to protect ourselves in that regard. And I mean, I see some people wearing masks, and I say to myself sometimes, I don't know why they're wearing a mask. But then things like this highlights to me the reason they shouldn't wear a mask. You know? So anyway, see, that's my last rant for the week. And thank you very much for indulging me.
Okay, and the other thing, caller, before you go, I'm just looking at some of the requirements here for inbound travel, and one of our listeners had written in and they were querying or questioning the fact that why not have a PCR test before the person travels to the Cayman Islands, because I was looking at what it says about requirements for inbound travel. It says check that you are included in categories of eligible travelers. So not everyone can basically choose to travel to the Cayman Islands. That should be made clear. It also says that all travelers must quarantine for a minimum of 14 days, right? And in some instances, some people have been able to quarantine at a government facility for part of those 14 days and then at home for the remainder if the approval is given at home. The person has to apply to Travel Cayman for approval to travel and to request their choice of quarantine arrangements. The person should have health insurance with COVID-19 coverage. All travelers will have a PCR test at the airport on arrival as well. So it could be possible that on arrival that these persons may be testing positive, or after they have been quarantined that they and they're tested then that they may be positive as well. But caller, I want to thank you very much for that as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Okay. Any other WhatsApp messages? Okay. The other information that I promised you that I would share with you has to do with Postal Service updates on parcels from the United States and the UK. It's getting to be that time of the year now. We're already hearing people talking about Christmas parties in November and things of that nature. So it's going to get pretty busy when it comes to packages. So the Postal Service has issued a release that says that the Cayman Islands Postal Service continues to receive and process parcels and other items containing merchandise that have arrived from the U.S. and the United Kingdom. However, due to mail transportation limitations as well as sanitation requirements, mail is arriving in large volumes at the same time and is therefore taking longer than normal to be processed. To facilitate where possible, the Postal Service is asking customers to check the tracking on their items either on the website of the vendor or on the Cayman Islands Postal Service website at ptc.point/gtt.web for updates on their item status. So you can go there and check the website of the vendor or the Cayman Islands Postal Service website where you can track your package as well. It says also customers are requested to note that the items will not become available for collection until either an item held at delivery depot or item arrival at collection point for a pickup tracking event is shown. So when you go in and you track, you will not be able to collect your package unless it says item held at delivery depot or item arrival at collection point for pickup. Those notifications. Tracking information online provides the same information available to postal staff. Also, using the online information sources will prevent the inconvenience of visiting the airport post office to get the tracking information or before the items can be released. Goes on to say that delays in processing packages with merchandise can also be prevented by ensuring that an invoice has been provided. So make sure that you have an invoice. Invoice can be emailed to parcelpost@gov.ky. Proper addressing, including a post office box number, also helps avoid delays such as customer notification slips are sent to the individual post office box address. Goes on to say the Postmaster General and the Cayman Islands Postal Service staff apologize for any inconvenience caused by these delays beyond their control and thank customers for their continuing patience during these exceptional times. So you really need to get it right. There are certainly challenges when it comes to mail transportation limitations as well as sanitation requirements. They have pointed out that mail is arriving in large volumes at the same time and therefore taking longer than normal to be processed. One question that I would have for the Postal Service, do you have the flexibility or will you be seeking the approval of government to hire additional staff during this period of time so that you can, as much as possible, facilitate persons in obtaining their packages that have been sent to them? I think that is extremely important as well. This press release here does not give any indication that any additional staff will be employed to try to ease the pressures, ease the situation. Please indicate that. That would be extremely helpful. We're going to take our last commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Hi, I'm remodeling our bathroom. I have a few questions.
Sure.
What are some ideas to make my bathroom feel larger? How do I know if I'm picking the right vanity? How do I choose a new toilet or a new countertop? Also, the lighting is terrible. Can I put a window or a skylight? And do I really need an exhaust fan?
You've come to the right place. At Brand Source, we custom design kitchen and baths, and our talented design team can help answer your questions. Whether you're looking for a modern, functional family bathroom or a luxurious personal retreat, we'll help create that beautiful space that makes your home yours. And if you're in a rush for a new look and have a limited budget, our ready-to-install bathroom vanities built with solid wood and countertops of the finest materials are a quick and easy remodeling solution.
For the very best in custom-designed kitchens and baths, visit Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, Cayman's Kitchen and Bath Center.
It's time to buy smart. It's time to buy Ropers. Find everything for your home and kitchen at low prices. Ropers. Appliances, dishware, bulk foods, and so much more. With huge savings. Ropers is stocked for your hurricane supplies. Don't cut back on your needs. Cut back on your spending with Ropers. Your neighborhood store. Value. Integrity. Ropers Enterprises. 122 Industrial Way. Call 949-2511. Clean up your spending with Ropers. Ropers, providing products and services for better public health.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
The Cayman Islands Justices of the Peace Association will be holding its annual general meeting on Wednesday, the 18th of November, starting at 5:30 p.m. in Conference Room 1038 on the ground floor of the Government Administration Building. Entry to the building will be through the staff entrance. All members of the association are encouraged to attend. The agenda will include special donation presentations to recipients of 3 non-profit organizations that render services to children and youth in our Cayman Islands community. Refreshments will be provided. Remember, the Justices of the Peace Association annual general meeting is Wednesday, November 18th at the Government Administration Building.
Shaken yet standing firm. This is Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're on the last leg of the show this morning. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC, and how are you?
Good morning. I'm fine. And you?
Oh, I'm fine too. Praising the Lord as usual.
Excellent.
Good. I still got your newspapers for you as well.
Oh, yes. I Susan keeps reminding me. I haven't forgotten.
Okay. All
Thanks.
All right. I'll get them to you somehow or some way, I guess.
Excellent. Yes. Whenever I'm in your district, I'm always on a bicycle. So.
Oh, I know. Yeah, that's so true. Anyway, OC, I just want to give a big thank you this morning to the fire department and both the fire rescue and CUC and them that came out here on Saturday, all through that rain, and took all of those trees and things that has falling down the front of our road, and they was out there battling the wind and everything.
Yes.
So I just want to say a big thank you to them, and may God continue to bless every one of them and their families as well. So God is so good. He is so good. He is so good. All right.
Thank you very much for that, and I'm sure that they appreciate it also because people complain when things go wrong. People
through the night as well.
Yes.
Yes, I've seen them passing here during the night.
Excellent. Yeah. Too many times when things go wrong, we blame them, and then when things go right, we need to give them a big shout out for that as well. Yes, yeah.
Of course.
Okay,
and
thank
the police
you.
as well.
Yep.
They was passing as well.
Excellent.
Yes.
You stay
All
safe,
right,
and all the best
You
to the family as well. Yes.
Okay, I will.
Yeah.
All right, then, OC.
Okay, yeah. I'm glad that caller called in about that, because there were many people I know who were probably watching, with interest the U.S. election results, and when people lost their electricity, they didn't know what was going on. But there are many jurisdictions throughout the world when you have a weather situation like we had, people go without electricity for days. In some instances, people made it maybe 4 hours, some less than that, and they had their power back on again. We have so much to be thankful for in the Cayman Islands, but still, at times we complain. We have another caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning to you, Mr. O.C.
Morning, sir.
God has blessed us with haven't heard of anybody being seriously injured or any injuries for that matter, but there could be. But I echo what you said about CUC. Well done, company. Well done, and many people are out of power many times, as you said, for days, for weeks, and so forth. And also very thankful for their, quick response on getting things done. And the very, very high ratio of Caymanians who work here and given chances to go on to be engineers and to be, get a degree, whether it's in business or admin or electrical and mechanical engineer and so forth with them. I just want a suggestion, I guess, or opinion, why this took a lot of people by surprise, including myself, the ferocity of the wind, is that in the future, maybe when we're broadcasting, when we're given these bulletins, I used to call them, I still call them the old time way, that we're given the distance of the band and the strength of it from the center of the system. And I think that's where people were unprepared. When they're saying 190 and 160 miles away, we were feeling tremendous winds because all of it, the heft of the storm was more or less on the eastern radius of it. You want to call it that. And also, it was much further out, or the center was much closer at one point than they said, which I think it's the latter. Much, much, much closer. And not 20-mile-an-hour winds, as they were saying. Trust me, I've been through 3 Category 1 hurricanes since 1999 in Florida. And what I saw, the winds I saw, it were the same as I saw in that. And we had damage that did not occur in Hurricane Ivan. I've seen the damage that it did, that did not happen with certain things, parts of roofs and so forth, and huge trees blown down. So maybe it would be advisable to give that sort of information that people are sort of taken by surprise with the ferocity of the winds that we saw here, and it was moving much faster than they thought. It was already gone.
What I saw from the National Weather Service, they did put, as lots of details were put out there. The thing is that we were dealing with a system that was not fully organized as well. It wasn't fully developed. Yeah.
But we could tell the wind speed of the things. That we could have that out there. I'm just saying for the general public, it would have been much easier to accept the kind of wind that we saw, a lot more than 20 miles an hour, trust me, in my opinion. What I'd like to say is with regards to the COVID thing and the people coming in and so forth, as you quite rightly stressed, it's no local transmission in recent times or anything like that, really. It's mostly people that are in quarantine and people who have come in a few cases and they're asymptomatic. And I think people will have to get it into their heads that we will have to reopen the borders sometime. That's how a huge portion of our money and a bigger portion of Caymanians being employed will be with open borders. So we have to understand the government is doing it quite, in my humble opinion, the right way, piecemeal, piece by piece, and trying things and doing very best they can. We're experiencing something that we never experienced in a long, long time. So, or we never before. None of us could remember the 1918 Spanish flu and so forth. And we knew about the SARS and we had problems with that and things like that, but nothing like in this magnitude. And I think the government is going about it the right way. Nothing will ever be perfect. No system is or ever will be perfect, or maybe even close to it, any government system. So this will have to be, and we might be finding people testing positive for COVID-19 for maybe 3 or 4 years to come.
Yeah. As long as it's elsewhere, that there's always that possibility. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd just like to ask a question here. If we were to move the election cycle or period to 5 years instead of the 4, which I've often thought is a better situation for us being a crown colony or territory, and I don't see us being anything other than that for quite a while, with the divided people that we are and the uncourageous people. Could we do that without the British government's permission? Like the 19 members could make that decision, and I'm sure that His Excellency the Governor would sign off on it. I don't know what if you think.
Well, it would require constitutional change, and then a constitutional change would have to be approved by the UK, so it would have to be in discussions with them. So it would require a constitutional change as well as a change in our election law, minor changes there as well. But I think it is something that is reasonable in this day and age with all of the complexities, so many things that governments want to get done, given an extra year rather than 4 years for a government, one administration to get things done. I think that, to me, is certainly reasonable.
I think so myself. I've always thought so, because of us having to go back and forth with the United Kingdom on very important issues. That takes up a lot of time to get back to the local issues and put more emphasis on helping the domestic side of things. That we definitely need, I think, that extra year. And I just wondered about that. I know you have to change the Constitution. And another thing, I don't think we have to take everything in the Constitution, every amendment, even important ones, to the people by referendum. I think, to me, that's a kind of almost waste of time.
But they should be consulted. The people should be consulted. Nothing should come as a surprise to them.
In meetings and go around, and definitely, yes. But to take it to referendum, I think only very, very serious changes should be taken to them.
Okay, caller, I want to thank you very much for that. We're reaching the top of the hour where we have to go, and just want to, that caller spoke about the Constitution and changes in terms of the length of time that a member of the Legislative Assembly soon to become Parliament, changing the term from 4 years to 5 years. Just want to point out to you that in the throne speech in Bermuda, just recently given around about the 9th of November, the indicated in the governor in the throne speech that Bermuda will be asking the Britain for more constitutional powers. We constantly talk about wanting a Bermuda constitution. Well, people in Bermuda and politicians in general feel that their constitution is not necessarily up to speed in terms of what's happening. So the article says that Bermuda is poised to ask for more power to run its own affairs after the British government allowed the island to draw up areas, quote-unquote, areas for constitutional reform. And that was revealed in the throne speech. Says the speech, the blueprint for the business of the new session of Parliament, said that the government would call for changes allowing the island's economic growth under a revised constitutional model. A researcher pointed out that the only thing that the United Kingdom government handles is foreign affairs and defense. It doesn't sound like they are talking about defense, so it suggests foreign affairs. And the suggestion is that things that are now handled by way of I soon have the word for you, where they have to go and seek permission from the United Kingdom. Entrustments. Things that are now handled by way of entrustments, where the United Kingdom government will entrust the local government to have discussions with foreign entities, foreign governments, that will be relaxed some more. We know in Cayman, for instance, that when it comes to CARICOM, that we have that entrustment. But it seems as if Bermuda wants to have more. Of course, there's a famous case in Bermuda with the Viggers, where the government of the then Ewart Brown, Premier Ewart Brown, entered into an agreement with the Obama government to take some of the prisoners from Guantanamo Bay into Bermuda. That was a big stink with the United Kingdom government at that time, whether or not they had, and obviously they didn't have an entrustment to do such things, but it would appear as if this is what the Bermudan government will be looking for in terms of constitutional changes, to give them the ability to handle more of their foreign affairs as well, and remove some of the requirements for entrustments as well. I wonder whether or not we will see that as a surprise in our constitutional changes, or whether or not we will only see what was proposed in the Legislative Assembly. Hopefully, folks, we will soon know, because today is the day that the Privy Council will be dealing with it. Folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension, For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. I also want to remind you that we are our brothers and our sisters' keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and I ask you to extend a helping hand to them. If you can't do that, then I suggest you donate to a worthy charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want or even those who crave. So I say to you, have a great day. Continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. Join Sterling Dwayne Banks at 12:15 for Talk Today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Cayman Pharmacy Group, with a location in West Bay and professional pharmacy at CTMH Doctors Hospital. The Cayman Pharmacy Group has a location for you just around the corner. Seaboard Marine, with over 35 shipping ports, find your shipping solution by calling 949-4977 or visit seaboardmarine.com for competitive rates. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. And Fidelity Bank. Fidelity, we're good for you.
Also brought to you by Ropers Enterprises, 122 Industrial Way. Products and services for better public health. Green Turtle. Take a ride on the Green Turtle Express today. Download the Green Turtle app, the future of mobile, saving lives today. And the Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure. Visit energy.gov.ky/competition to win a home energy